Oh, I haven't gone live yet. Hi, YouTube. I just spent the last 8 minutes thinking that I was live when I actually wasn't live. Hopefully this actually records this time. Or hopefully this is actually live now. Spent the last 8 minutes thinking I was live when I was not live because I'm used to hitting a button that's not on the YouTube website. So I, gave a whole spiel about what we're doing and what the problem is and what we're going to work through today and saying hi to people. And all of this and being like, why is nobody chatting? Usually people are here. And what I just didn't realize is I hadn't hit the start stream button on YouTube until 8-9 minutes past the hour. So for the two of you who have been sitting and waiting patiently, thank you. You'll notice that the stream layout is extremely different than it normally is because I switched to OBS this week and I spent all of 0 minutes actually making it look nice. Hopefully you're hearing everything. Hopefully the music's playing back correctly. My dear friend Black Moth is providing the music for today. Yeah, if you're watching, feel free to say hi. This is a little, I guess I'd say embarrassing, but it's like the whole point of streaming at this point is to break things live and to learn as I go. So it looks like I've got one concurrent viewer, which is cool. So hi, person. And if you say hi, that's awesome. To all of you who were gonna be watching, who bailed on me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey Nick, how's it going? Thank you for saying hi. One day, for all you VODers, I'm gonna figure out how to get the chat up on screen again. YouTube streaming is just very different than Twitch streaming. Twitch actually makes it really, really easy in comparison to YouTube. So, apparently also my current streaming resolution is not optimal. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're just going to keep working on things slowly but surely. Making it better bit by bit. Says stream status is good though, so that's nice. I should enable auto start next time. That will help me. That will help me when I'm like, oh, I thought I was live for the last 8 minutes, and then I'm actually not. All right. So to repeat myself, we're not actually the stream title today says we're working on plugin UI, but that's not correct. We are. What has happened is I found out that the AU version of my plugin is not working on Logic. It's actually broken. So Reaper is proving to be a very bad proving ground for actually making sure that my plugin works properly. So I sent it to somebody who's using Logic this week, and it crashed. It wouldn't build. It wouldn't open on Logic. So what I'm going to try to do today, I know what's going on, kind of. I'll show you. In the plugin processor, we've got this part where we have the effects buffer, which is the array that has all of the process effects on it. We're copying data from this buffer to the feedback buffer, which then I'm putting back in, like I'm inserting all of that data back into the delay here. So we have a feedback loop. And the problem comes with copy from, which is a Juice API function. This line we break because destination start sample plus num samples is actually bigger than size, and I don't know why that's happening. I have a feeling as to why it's happening, but I'm not exactly sure. So we're gonna play with it. 2 concurrent viewers. I'm going crazy today. As always, say hi. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Feel free to chat. Feel free to ask me questions. There's no stupid questions. There's only curious questions. Hope your day is going well. Hope your Saturday is fantastic. The music, as you should be able to hear it more clearly this time because I cranked the music as compared to last time when I watched the YouTube video playback. The soundtrack today is brought to you by Black Moth and his album, I think it's Achromatic. Yes. No, his album Abyss. Abyss, not Achromatic. We did Achromatic last week. So, I say we get to tweaking. I say we get to playing on it. Seeing what we can figure out, what we can't, what's going on, what's right, what's wrong. So part of my problem, I think, lies here, because I found out earlier this week you're apparently not supposed to allocate things in your process block. So this function does all of the actual DSP processing and is time sensitive, so it needs to run as fast as possible. So allocating data inside the process block is usually a no-no. So I'm wondering if the way that this is structured is causing that size to be weird. If I made a function of my own called copy channel, which is supposed to do the same thing as copy from, but it functionally doesn't. It doesn't sound the same. So it'd be interesting to see what numbers come out of copy channel. And also you'll notice that I'm using a size here for buffer.getNum samples rather than feedback buffer.getNum samples. So we can try these various different things. Where should you start when building a plugin? It entirely depends, Nick, on like what your experience level with both digital signal processing math and just even programming in general is. Like if you knew plenty of C++ and linear algebra, you could probably just jump right in, no problem. If you have only ever programmed something like Python or Lua, it'll probably be a few years. Like from the day I picked up my first plugin book to the day I built my first plugin on my own without a class and knew exactly what was happening without like an online course, it's about 3 years, I think. So 3 or 4 years. So it's not like the most intimidating thing in the world, but it's just like, yeah, it'd be good to know where you, like, tell me what your proficiency level with any of those things is. Okay, so first thing we can do is do feedback buffer.getNum samples and see what that does for me. So we're building in a debug tool right now. Oh, sorry, I knocked everything on my desk. Oh, that means the screen is right. My screen is right in front of the camera now. That's no good. I guess we'll leave it for now. I just wanted my screen height to be a little bit better than it has been. And also, I like it better when the mic's not super in the camera like that. There. Hopefully you can still hear. You should be able to hear me better now, quite frankly. Okay. So let's try that and let's see what numbers we get out. We're building in a thing where you should be able to see down here the results of the build. It's going to take us a little bit to build. And for that time, we get water. I do like that my camera looks much nicer now. And I do like the framing on the camera for the most part. So we're doing well. Okay, so we still hit the assert. Num samples. Why are we hitting the assert now? Oh, we're hitting a different assert now. Source art sample is equal to or greater than 0, so it is. Num samples is greater than or equal to 0, which it is. And source start sample, which is 0 plus num samples, which is 512, is less than or equal to source.size. Okay, that's interesting. So just changing some of the code made this work better. Let's change my debug. So we need source start sample. See what's going on. Source start sample. Num samples source.size. Well, I learned C++ here and there, and math. Haven't touched anything past trigonometry. I'm reading a book called Electronic Music and Sound Design Volume 2 at the moment. Okay. So, I don't know how much that book has to do with plug-in programming or not. But from what you're telling me, like, you probably, my assumption is you touched trig a while ago, and you know some of it, but you would have to go, you're probably a little rusty on it. And learning C++ here and there isn't like having built something in C++ regularly. So, I mean, I think you could do it just fine. It would just take a little while. It's not like what I would say is there's courses on theaudioprogrammer.com and cadenze.com are the two most up-to-date recent plug-in programming courses that I know of that are C++ based, use Juice, can build things in Reaper, Logic, whatever. I haven't done Josh's one at the Audio Programmer yet, but I went through the Cadenze Basic and Advanced courses. And like what I would say is give them a shot, and if you get stuck, like reach out, talk to me, talk to other people, because what I found was the beginner course for Cadenze made sense in a way. It was actually more complicated for me than the advanced course was because I was used to object-oriented programming at that point. But that's probably the best way to get started if you know some programming. The digital signal processing math is crazy, but you don't like. I'm not great at that yet. I'm just building what I can. So hopefully that answers a question for you. And if you want some more information, let me know. Okay. Let's see what this debugs for me. You're welcome, sir. I hope that provided you some sort of clarity. I don't know if it did or not, but... Okay, source size is 64, num samples is 512. Okay. Slicing render test at 64 frames. Okay. Well, this is mildly frustrating just simply because, like, I was expecting to break here, and now what we're doing is breaking down here. Okay, so my source channel then is the second channel listed. Okay, so effects buffer is the source. That doesn't seem right. Destination channel, destination sample, source channel, source start sample. So really this should be bet you this solves it. Because we should be counting the number of samples we have from the effects buffer. What? And now we're failing on the destination start sample again. Because that's going to be 4096 compared to 512. Jeez. Welcome to the fun world of debugging, my friends. Where you just tap on things and go like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? I don't understand. It's funny to me that I'm in the category of music for music streaming. Because technically this is just engineering. But, you know, this is what it is. Build. Build faster. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, we're back right where I thought we would start. Source down size, num samples, destination start sample. So I wish I knew what size was being allocated from, but I can't. I can find the definition of it. It's here, but I don't know where it's being assigned. 512. Excuse me. Destination start sample, destination start sample, num samples is greater than size, but size isn't being allocated here. That's what's so confusing to me. And now we tried to put feedback buffer as the number of samples, and that gets through. Thinking through this makes me stumped. Let's see. The channel within this buffer to copy the samples to. Okay. Destination, the start sample within this buffer's channel. The source buffer to read from. The channel within the source buffer to read from. The offset within the source buffer's channel to start reading samples from. The number of samples to process. Is this the size of the feedback buffer? It is. Okay. And the effects buffer size is what? 4096. Why is the feedback buffer size 512 then? How big is the regular buffer? It's 4096. Feedback buffer num samples is equal to 0. So I think this actually should be or something like that. I'm gonna try that. I don't know that that will do anything, but we're gonna find out. Oh no, build shouldn't have succeeded. Huh. AU validation succeeded there. Yeah, there's something about... Well, I don't want it to make a copy of the effects buffer here. Because I want it to keep the same number of samples. I don't... I can tell what's going on now. Let's do this. Let's make a breakpoint here and let's run it. Okay, so we've now made the effects buffer. Effects buffer it should be a copy of the buffer. So the initial size of effects buffer is 512. The initial size of the buffer itself is 512. Oh, my battery's getting low. Charging in. Okay. Feedback buffers, number of samples is what? It is 0. It's going to make a copy of the effects buffer. And now, the number of samples of feedback buffer is 512. Okay, so then let's hit it again. So the next go around, we make a copy of the effects buffer, or make a copy of the regular buffer. Now it's 64, which should be the same as the buffer. Yep. Now, we don't do that because it's not equal to 0. Size is now equal to 512. Ah, now I understand what's going on. Okay, so now our effects buffer size is still 64, so we should still be good. The effects buffer size now 64. Still doing alright. Just keeps looping for a little while. Yeah, okay. And now we're gonna start failing because... Okay. Now I understand what's going on. So the problem here is I'm making copies of my effects buffer into my feedback buffer and the buffer sizes are different. And I'm allocating the effects buffer here. So, I know, why did I gotta go back in my brain and remember why I allocated the effects buffer in the processor. I think, so let's see what the effects buffer does. We hit the effects buffer, pull the process data, it goes through, we copy the effects buffer to the feedback buffer, we mix the process data with in a wet and dry. What is output? A dry mix is output buffer, signal to mix. Okay, so output buffer. Output is okay, so this is the actual buffer that gets output to the DAW. So we do our signal processing in the effects buffer. The feedback buffer stores a different thing, and we have a dry mix because the output is dry. This buffer is the dry buffer. It has no effects processing on it. Okay, so let me actually do this. That'll help me make that make more sense. Okay, so I allocate an effects buffer every time because because I was trying to clear the effects buffer. Okay. And I'm not resetting my buffers. It doesn't look like in my prepare to play, which I should do, I imagine. Yeah, let's just be safe. So let's do effects buffer there. Let's change this to underscore effects buffer. Hopefully that just didn't ruin everything. Let's try this. What? Underscore effects buffer. Yeah, should be fine. Delete that. Let's see. I think that will help. Okay, so I want the effects buffer to clear every loop. So when we do a wet dry mix, but I want to take the number of I don't want to copy from. I don't want to copy from at all. I just want to do this. I think that's what I want to do. Then I can comment that out. Theoretically, that should work. Theoretically. Don't need the breakpoint. No! Now what's going on? Get right pointer to channel. Oh, because there are no channels in the feedback buffer. Right. Oh, because the feedback buffer isn't allocated. I gotta think about this one. Because the loops have to be just right. And I only want to make a copy of the effects buffer once. I guess actually doing this isn't, I mean, it's a hack way to fix it, but I think that bringing this back in might actually work. I love how I'm not explaining anything of why I'm doing what I'm doing, so if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, see? AU validation succeeded, so let's now see if this sounds correct. And it's not, I guess I shouldn't say let me know if you've got any questions. I should just say let me know what questions you have about the random thing that I'm doing. Because if I sit and try to narrate every single little step that I'm taking, I'm going to be here all day. We're not going to get anything done. But as you've got questions, or if you're like, I don't have any idea of what you're doing, tell me what you're doing. That's even a great thing to say. Okay, so it builds. It's moving around. That's cool. You can see my January project. Let's go back to... Actually, you know what? Let's play with the January project. Black Moth, we're going to mute you for a minute. Hopefully this doesn't blow your ears out. Let me tell you if it, let me know if it's horrible. Oh, I can't hear it.
Let's begin.
Yeah, something. Okay. Now this is great because I bet I can't hear because of preferences. So now we might lose audio on the stream. So I know that there's only a handful of you watching. Please let me know because I'm going to change the audio device if this breaks. Let's see. Let me go to the audio MIDI setup. Oh, I should be hearing it. That's weird. That's really weird.
Let's begin.
You might be hearing it and I'm not. Let's look at OBS. If you're hearing this, let me know. That would be good to know too. Okay, so it looks like OBS is only triggering for my voice right now and background noise. Let's see.
Let's begin.
Yeah. OBS is triggering very quietly.
Let's begin.
Oh, it's there. It's just super quiet. That's weird.
Let's begin.
Maybe I just wasn't listening loud enough. Interesting. It sounds kind of like it's working.
Let's begin.
Doesn't have the... Well... Yeah, it's working. I guess the Bitcrusher is now just more quiet than I'm used to because I tweaked on that a little bit. But it seems to work, so yay, it works! Alright, hopefully this doesn't blow your ears out. I have no idea if the audio mix is good today or not. We'll find that out shortly. We'll find that out in another hour or so. So yeah, it looks like everything works. Which is fantastic. It's just quieter than I was used to. But, okay, let's make a release build, and then let's launch this release build. put it up online. Okay, audio, plugins, components, delete suspension, move to trash, delete the VST3. Okay, we need to increment the version number. We need to pull up the producer. So we can increment this one's version number. It works. Hi, Colin. Good afternoon to you, sir. We just fixed the thing that I didn't think we were going to fix. I didn't think I was going to figure it out, but I figured it out. No, you're fine. You're fine. I just looked and the lighting is actually perfectly okay. My wife just turned off a light that's next to me and I was like, it seems a little dark, but it actually, like, the front light here works very well. You can see me very clearly rather than having the overhead light going crazy. So I sorely miss having the zoom lens and being able to reach it. And being silly and stupid, but God, I love the 50mm lens I have on this camera. It makes everything look super cool. Let me just tweak it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, now I'm more centered in frame, but hold on. Thank you for that. Congratulations, Colin. All right. Do my old man grunt. We're going to live with this for right now. It's not too bad. Yeah, that's where I want to sit in the picture anyway. Okay, cool. Let's clean up some stuff. Oh, and build. What am I doing? Build and release. Push a new version. While this is working. Build. So what we just did, I was allocating a buffer incorrectly, and I was hitting an assert when trying to build the AU version of the plugin that Reaper never caught. I'm learning that Reaper is a really bad test bed for building audio plugins. But yeah, Reaper never caught it. The AU Val tool, which I hardly ever build in, which is not good, did catch it. I found this out because I was trying to share the plugin with somebody this week, and it wasn't working. Which, by the way, with no planning whatsoever, if you want to download a copy of this plugin in just a minute, don't do it right this second. Go to this website. That's where you'll want to go to download a copy of this plugin as soon as I push a new build. I'm not doing it just the second. In like 2 minutes, I'll push a new build. Then you can have, if you have a Mac, that's the other caveat. If you have to have a Mac, if you have a Mac, you can use it in VST or AU. have not ported it to Windows yet. I will not port it to Windows until I'm done with everything else, which we're very close. Very, very close to porting it to Windows. You can go to suspension.adamtcroft.com and download the package file. You can download it right now. It's just the AU is going to be broken. The VST, well, the VST is kind of broken because the AU is technically broken. So, Colin and Nick, has your weekend been good? We have 3 concurrent viewers and 2 chatters. We're breaking YouTube records right now. My personal YouTube records. Hope you have a fantastic weekend and are doing very wonderful things. Okay, it looks like the VST built. Let's build the package file. Oh, hold on 1 second, friends. I have to go solve a problem. 1 second. Alright, as you can see, high production values on the stream today because I don't have the be right back and like stream coming soon and everything cards prepared. So I just leave the stream. My wife needed some stuff, so we had a pretty good weekend so far, playing video catch up. Came up with a good way to reuse some of the work I put together for 2 separate videos. It's awesome! Be prepared, man. Like when you've got everything in order, like I don't right now. When you have everything in order, you can crank out content really, really easily. So, yeah, problem is solved. Yes, I right before getting on stream, we bought a 4K TV for Christmas. It's a Christmas present to ourselves, my wife and I. And as part of this, we had a HDMI switch going into an old TV that was not a 4K HDMI switch, so I had to buy a 4K HDMI switch, and then I set all that up, and then I didn't do the last bit of good that I needed to do, which was reset up the smart TV's settings so that it was clear what input all of the media devices were going into. So my wife was confused, and it was all my fault. So I had to go mute myself and explain what was going on. She's like, I'm so confused. And I was like, yes, because I did you wrong. So, okay, where were we? We were building the package file that I'm not going to do on screen because I don't like to share my internal Finder stuff because that's a little sketch. Plugins. Yeah, technology. I've officially hit the age at which I'm beginning to feel old with technology now. I guess I felt old when Snapchat showed up and I didn't understand it. But now it just continually slams me in the face of like, why do we build things this way? Why does it work this way? It was just fine before. Why do I have to have remotes, and why does there have to be software on my TV? And yada yada. Okay. Almost there. Update the version numbers. Remind me later. Version number for this is going to be .19. Okay, close that. And now let's upload, shall we? Shall we? It's weird because I can see the preview of what's going out live to YouTube, and it's a couple seconds delayed. I'm like, what's going on? Oh yeah, I just did that. Okay, so the version number needs to go. And now the package file needs to get uploaded. Place. Okay. Now you can go to the website and download a version of that plugin. So I've been feeling that way about smartphones, smart TVs, soundbars, etc. To me, it all feels super user unfriendly. Oh yeah, 110%. It's super, like, the idea of a home entertainment system is super jacked now. Hold on 1 second. Alright, we're good. Okay, so now we've fixed that. Let's clean up some stuff. We've pushed a build that should work even though it's not clean. So let's just clean up some code. Clean that up. I want to go back to copy from. Clean up my debug code in there. Oh, it just is cleaned. Did I delete it all? No, this is add from. Just copy from. Let's find copy from. There we go. Oh yeah, I was about to say, what's the M for? I finally attached this to a Git library or GitHub, and I need to actually get rid of that. I don't want to back this up on GitHub. Why, you ask? No reason. Don't feel like it. Okay. Everything's cleaned, everything works. What I want to do is, I'm going to add some UI. Was the original idea for today. Which I don't know how quite how I'm going to do that. Let me just build a plugin and let's talk. Let's talk this over. Let me also go put on a sweater because I'm cold. It's right here, but I'm going to stand up, so I'm going to mute my mic. Okay. So, I think adding a... Let me show you what I've done in the Bitcrusher. So... Oh yeah, it's building. That's right. Okay, so the Bitcrusher is way too loud. The sample rate reduction is incredibly way too loud. So what I was thinking about doing was putting a sample rate, putting a parameter DOM here for you to be able to increase and decrease the bit crushed mix against the delay mix. Kind of like how loud how this knob is. I also need to indicate what the crap this knob and this knob are. What I wanted to do is give, like, you know, a little like loop and a UI to say what this is, but like each one of these sliders is its own individual component, so that's going to be kind of hard to work out. It's not like there's a separate component for the horizontal here, which would make more sense. I've learned so many different things from just making the thing. From just making the thing. Excuse me. So yeah, we're gonna put a parameter slider here. I just don't know how I want the UI that indicates that those are movement knobs. Like parameter. In fact, here's a question. Nick and Colin, here's a question for you. These parameter sliders, like the more that I move this parameter slider up, the more the parameter moves on its own. It's not automation, right? We're not automating the parameter in the DAW. I don't want to use that language. I've been calling these movement in my head, and in the code they're called movement. What makes sense to you as designers? What would you call this slider? Like automate? Like, I don't know. It can't be automate because it's not actual automation. But I'm trying to find a name that will like fit in a small area. That still makes sense as to what that will do. I mean, it'll be obvious once you start playing with it, but motion. That's a good name for that. We could try that. Motion parameter. I like that. I could sit with that. Now, what I really want to do, though, is loop this around. I don't want to make the UI more complicated, though. No, it's not an LFO. Right? It might act like an LFO, but it's not even like... That's not even an actual sine wave. That's a linear multiplication. Or it's a linear addition. If anything, it's a... it's not even a sawtooth wave. Is it a triangle? Something like that? Yeah, motion I think is more accurate to what I'm thinking. Because it needs to be something that's not like an audio word. Okay, so what I want to do is... Man, this sucks. Yeah, okay. I have it right, triangle wave. This sucks. Like, this whole horizontal piece right here is one component. So it makes it kind of ridiculously hard to draw vertical things that go over multiple components. Like, I have this vision of a bar here and a bar here, and that they connect at the bottom and that they connect at the top, and at the top it says motion. And that I'd have a box around here, a box around there, and then here you've got a knob and it says mix. You know, for now, let's just put the word motion over the sliders. And we'll see how much I hate it. Because I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to love it. Okay. What's really nice now is I can get rid of slider with text and button. Like, permanently delete that sucker. How did we draw text? Oh, G.drawText is the graphics class. Okay. Sounds like values are going between one each other. Yeah, I think I need you to further explain what you mean, Nick. Gradient, draw fitted text, draw additional text. Yeah, it's not going to say anything. So if movements, oh, it's speed, okay, is visible, yep, G dot draw fitted text motion. Let's just draw it at 0, 0, because then we'll be able to see that it's there. Let's do it at 10, height of 5, 8. Justification. Centered. Maximum number of lines is 1. Let's try that. See if it shows up. Slider with text in button file is not found. Okay. Included in the effect panel? Yeah. Please tell me that nothing was actually associated with that class anymore. Because I did all the work to pull that class out of the code. Three concurrent viewers. I'm super famous. Looks like it's building at least, which is good. Okay, motion does appear in tiny itty bitty text, it looks like. Oh, what did I just kill? My music just stopped playing. Oh no. Oh, okay. So I'm still streaming. Oh, this is the nice part. I just accidentally quit out of YouTube. YouTube Studio. So now like I don't have the chat pulled up. But since streaming is happening on OBS, I didn't actually stop the stream, which is great. Okay. I wanted to quit this. Yes. Okay. Let's go back to the text. Let's just make this big enough to see it, and then we can put it in the right spot. Okay, motion is there, that's cool, but it's being drawn in two different ways now. bottom because I don't know. Let's do that. And let's do set font. What did I call the color before in the interface defines? Suspension gray, suspension gray. Okay, let's try that. And let's find where the height of, or where the location of the slider is. Width is get width times 0.90. Let's see what happens. Are we having fun yet? Hope you're having fun. Okay, it's not centered. I'm just trying to think how I would fix things. Relative. Justification to the left. Let's see how this changes things. It should shunt it more to the left. Yeah. So let's do some gooey thoughts. Since its width is get width times 0.90, I can say I can draw fitted text, and I want int x width y, or width. Okay, so width would be whatever get width minus get width times 0.90 is. And then if I center this, it might be off, but that's not going to be because the slider, that's going to be because the slider isn't centered. It looks better though. Yeah, see, if you drag it wider, it doesn't look quite right. It's because oh, it's the width of the slider. What am I doing? What are you doing, Adam? Its movement speed width is what it is. This will center it. Closer to the slider. Yeah, check that out. It's centered. Let's get the point height and make it a little smaller. I think we're probably going to turn the text gray, but we're going to find out. Oh, and it's also ruining that something's changed here now. Well, had changed. Let's see. Where does additional text draw? This is our act. Drop for the text is X, Y, width, height is slider label height. Okay, so let's put in slider label height. Hopefully I'm not like mad boring to you guys today. I haven't been talking so much because I've been thinking about what I'm doing inside my head rather than verbalizing it. I know that plenty of you watch what's going on and have me kind of going in the background, and that's fine, but if you have any questions or want to know what the heck's going on and not have me just keep it in my head, let me know. My wife is also playing video games out of the corner of my eye just past the camera, so it's fun to watch. Okay. So that actually isn't the same height. Save this, and I want slider label height plus, I don't know, let's do something insane. Yeah, that's more what I want. Okay, and it apparently shows up on the UI just fine. Okay, the UI is fine. And I don't even hate that. It's just that the text is getting really small, right? Like I could probably make the text a little bit bigger on some of this. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, hole just doesn't show up fast enough. It just doesn't paint quick enough. What's her game of the day? She is currently shooting things in Destiny 2. We do that pretty often around the house. Because if, you know, sometimes working on builds of the game and then playing retail's somewhat fun too, so. It's not as fun as if I were not a dev, but I am a dev, so I'll have to deal with it. Oh yeah, we were going to put red on the well, if I'm going to have red on that text, I don't want red in the logo, because it's going to be a lot too much red, I think. All right, so what do you guys think of the UI text here? I think it's too small, right? It's like hard to see. From what I could tell last week, my aspect ratio is a little jacked up too on YouTube, so just is what it is. That checks out. I like it being so small. I'm just not convinced that everybody can read tiny text like I can. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it bigger than I want to be, and then we can try it out. Oh, too big. Right? That's too big. I think that's too big. That makes me want to make the... Actually, it makes me want to change other things. Here. Where am I drawing the labels? Draw fitted text. X, Y, width, height. Oh, that's how I was doing it. Weird. I wonder if at the point where people would struggle to read the text, they'd struggle to see your arrows and things as well. When you say arrows and things, I'm not following what you're pointing out. Like the thumbs on the sliders? Is that what you're referring to? Man, I was doing everything in here at one point. That's hilarious. Let's do that. That should increase the font height. I think it's pretty readable compared to native instruments where the text is super small. Well, thank you for saying that. Now I feel less crappy about everything being so small. Oh yeah, that's too big. Like, it's nice and clear, but it also feels too big. Yeah, I can't change the little thumb things on the sliders. That's like juice internal. Okay, so we're gonna live with 12 point, and then I like the small text personally, but my eyes are pretty decent too, so I'm not the best QA target. Well, you know. I can't please everybody. So this actually wasn't what I thought it was. So 22, and this needs to be slider. I'm gonna change this to 10. Just do 10. I hate native instruments. They're so bad. I hope you can see by my deadpan response that I agree with you that they're fine, Nick. Okay, I can live with that. And even the text over the slider, I'm not like upset with. have an idea. I have an idea. See what my idea is in just a second. You're gonna love it. X is X. Y is the start point. So I want that to be. Let's do 8, and then width is. Height is gonna be I don't know. So I'm gonna guess. Oh, cool, it just outlined it. Hell yeah. And it's actually perfect. It's a little too wide. A little wider than I want it to be. I wonder how you can, if you can round the corners on that. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. That's cool. Around the corner. Yeah, okay, let's make the width of the plugin wider. Let's make the width wider. Plugin width, let's do 525. Now let's build it. Let's see what happens. It probably won't matter. I probably have to move the movement slider back now that I did that. Now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't matter at all. Let's leave it wider and let's move some things around. There's the button. Let's do. This is why. Manifest defines. Let's just call it movement because we're calling it movement and everything right now. We wanted to get width. We can't do it here. Just is what it is. All right, let's do 8, 5. We want this to be .85, and then this needs to be 0.75. I think that's what I just set the button to. But yep, okay. And this This needs to be 0.85. And how do I draw a rectangle with rounded corners? That's the question. Line thickness. That's great. I don't care about the line thickness. X, Y, width, height, line thickness. There's got to be a way to round the corners. All right, Juice. Here we go. I can't spell. How to draw a rounded corner rectangle. Okay. Look here. Look and feel. Path. It's a path add rounded rectangle. Okay, so let's try that. G path rect rounded rect. Path dot add rounded rect dot add rounded rectangle. All the same stuff here. X, Y, width, height, corner size is like 3, and then path dot stroke, right? Stroke path of set color, path dot stroke path. Oh, it's not path. That's why. Is it really not stroke path? What? Oh, G. Okay. Got it. G dot stroke path. Rounded rect. Path stroke type. What is path stroke type there? Sure. Let's see if that works. It works, it's just all cattywampus now. But hey, the path stroked, so that's cool. And we're gonna have some. Oops, sorry for bonking the microphone. We're gonna have something cool before the end of this. And we'll have to change either the motion box or the text itself.
You will sleep because
I don't think we're looping the same tunes anymore. Yeah, we're not. That's still all. It's still all Jack stuff. Let's go back to Abyss. One day I'm going to have some nice stuff up here where you can like see the chat, where you can see what music's playing, and I have some advertisements up too. Not anybody else's ads, just mine. Okay, so the motion text didn't get moved. So let's think about this for a second. I don't want to change this every time. So let's make some variables. Float. Movement. Slider X. Let's do that. Oh, is that what I had wrong? No point, okay. We had it at 0.85 and it wasn't looking good. I want that, I want... I kind of hate that these things have to get pulled into private variables, but button X. I think that's what it was before. Excuse me. Okay, so now we want this to be that. We want this to be that. I think I want this to be gray. Now let's see. No, the button flew to a weird place. Well, while we're at it, let's just put the slider where I want it first. Just too far. Really, it's like a point, it's a hundredth of a difference. Have a good afternoon, Nick. Thank you for dropping by, sir. Hope you had fun watching me poke at things. Okay, that's perfect. Now, what was it? Did we do 785? Was that what it was before? Close. It might have been what it was before, but I've since moved things in. Let's do 765. Nope, too far. That looks about damn perfect. It kind of makes me want everything to be in capitals, though. And it begs the question why the other labels are in black. And also the suspension gray is a different... Is that... Are these sliders black? I guess they are. I thought they were like a lighter shade. I mean like not flat black. I'm already doing what with suspension? Suspension gray, suspension maroon. I guess it is black. But I could have sworn the sliders styles had different colors now. Let's see. Yeah, these are set to color suspension gray. That's weird. Oh, that's true. You mean the logo area? How the shit? So, this is not actually anything then? Yeah, gotcha. Oh. So what? This makes no sense. So, Colin, look at this. I guess it's because the thickness of the stroke is not heavy. This is coming into light gray, but technically this is the same color as the slider. Also, let's get rid of the yellow. And then let's go look at the stroke of the path. I don't know, let's do something absurd like 3-point stroke. My eyes! Yeah, it's closer when I make it thicker. So maybe what I want to do then is I don't want a thick thing. So let's see what it looks like if I set the color to black. Yes, something like that is what's doing some anti-aliasing or something. I know we usually when paths are stroked, it's yeah, because that's what black looks like. Flat black is not black. Okay. I wonder if I stroke it multiple times. That sounds wrong. If it'll look better. Let's just... Let's do something horrifying. If I stroke the path multiple times. Yeah, that looks better. But I do like motion being in all caps. So, 4... I think having everything in all caps is going to be too much. Let's see what this does. All right. I suppose... Man, those rectangles draw your eyes like crazy now. Am I wrong? You just don't know whether to encase everything else in a rectangle now. I think that would be too visually crazy. And maybe I should just only stroke the motion sliders once rather than 5 times. Yeah, let's try that. And let's try one more thing. Could do black on the boxes and gray on everything else. I think... Well, yeah, I don't know if I can make the boxes any thinner, but I think I'm just going to lighten up the box on the right-hand side, and I think I'll be okay. Okay, printer name, little text. So let's do this. Let's try this. DA time. Why did feedback not get capitalized there? That's interesting. Am I not using these? Oop, that's not feedback. That's a bug, is what that is. Yeah, I'm not using this. Interesting. Okay, so then where am I getting the text labels? That's a good question. Processor label, so where do I build slider with text? No. Be in the effects panel. Oh, okay. Yo. No. Not a fan. Not a fan. But I do need to shunt them over a little bit to the right since the sliders have now changed. So, let's figure out where we're drawing those labels. It's closer. It's gonna be too far, I bet. Yeah, a little bit. Well, only a little bit too far. Yeah, that's about perfect. And then, so next time, let's just go ahead and shunt these buttons over too. And then next time we'll add a slider here for mix. If I don't do that in the middle of the week, we'll add a slider here for mix so that bit reduction and sample rate reduction can be mixed into or out of the delay. It'll be great. Okay, let's shunt those buttons, the submit feedback and submit bug buttons over. That should be the, what panel is that? Logo area. Okay. Went a little bit further. I feel like these streams are the least exciting things ever when I'm not talking regularly, so. But sometimes we don't have interesting things to say. We're just like tweaking on stuff, so. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I'm really excited. Let's just show you what this is going to look like when the plugin is completely finished. Oh, it'll be this. Let's do it this way. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. It's not going to have those buttons there. It feels naked to me now. It feels a little lopsided. Maybe I'll put suspension instead of in the middle. I'll put it in the middle of the sliders. But that's what it's gonna look like when the buttons are done, or when the buttons are gone. Or I can put a button to like go to my website, or maybe I'll put a website logo or something on that. So I feel like I need at least a company logo on here. But that's what it will look like. All right, let's build this in release, and then let's put it up online. And then Colin, you can get the latest version of it and play with it if you want to. Okay. Let's trash the debug versions. Go away. Scheme, build and release, close. Wow, let's just double check. Let's be smart here, right? Applications, eval tool, close. Run it in the eval tool because we broke it earlier in the eval tool, so it makes sense to not have it broken in the eval tool, so we can be sure that people can use it on Logic. Build succeeded. Fail. Didn't find the component. Do I need it in not release mode? That's weird. Cannot get components name strings. Error retrieving component version. Fail. Validating IO unit AU XSPS. What? Eval A, available units of any type. Okay, that's the old one, which I don't know why it's still around. Maybe I need to build it first? You'd think it would build and then debug? It says build succeeded. Why does it not show up? That's weird. It's in my components folder. Error retrieving component version, -50. What? Is there anything else that says suspension? Oh, it just... stupid. I think it just killed my... I think the producer did something stupid. Plug in manufacturer code NIRS SUSP. That's super weird. Let's build now. I shouldn't have done anything different. This is what I sound like if nobody's here. Just talking to myself. I'm so entertaining for you. It's 4 o'clock. We should be done by now, stream. I need you to finish building, computer. It's so weird. It's just not showing the right things. I don't know why that's not working. Because if I change that to GCPF MANU, I bet it finds it. Change the arguments to... What? Oh, there we go. GCPF MANU. Watch, it'll find it now. Close. Run. Oh. What? It didn't find the component. Alright, I'm gonna raise things up. Hopefully I won't break anything. Alright, camera. Can you still see me? Let's see. Let's look at OBS. Yep. Cutting the top of my head off, but... is what it is. Can just pretend to be shorter. I don't understand why it's not seeing the component. Cannot get components name strings. Let's try to run it outside of stuff. UCPF, MANU. Not enough arguments. What did I do? AUFX. Right. Okay. Cannot get components name strings. How the hell did that break? Fatal error didn't find the component. But it says it's in the list. Well, my friends, I think no, that's not good. Class message manager is leaking from something. Okay, I don't think I'm going to have a fix for this right now. I think what I'm going to have to do is futz and figure out where this plugin is, because it should be here. Because I think I'm on Juice 6. It's just not finding my plugin for whatever reason. I think I'm going to have to mess with that eval tool and try to figure it out. So, for now, I'm going to end the stream, though. It's been a good afternoon hanging out with you folks. Thank you for kicking it with me. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I'll be back here next Saturday. As always, if you're watching on VOD and you made it this far, thank you so much. You can find me at adamtcroft.com, instagram.com/adamtcroft. I'll be more entertaining next time, I swear. We'll get this better week upon week. It'll be great. All right. Take care.